Hey, Daily Dosers. My name is Tracie, and I'm one of the campus pastors at Carlsbad, and I'm bringing you the Daily Dose. And I get to start in for 2 Peter, and we're going to start in verse 11, but we're going to go away. So I'm going to kind of talk about it as a whole because there's a layer of it that really does add to how we go from babies to adult followers of Jesus, kind of growing in our salvation. So that's going to be one of the themes of Peter. And so I want to go over that today. I'm going to hit a few key verses and then we'll move on. In verse 13, it says, "Submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority or to governors who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right." And then also in verse 17 and 18, it says, "Show proper respect to everyone. Love the family of believers, fear God, honor the emperor. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh." So he also says in there to live a life to a point that it makes even the naysayers question it. And so that's the theme, is this idea of submission and respect. And oftentimes our own body, we don't care for that, of that submission. And for someone like me, I tend to want to be right. I want to be heard. It's really a pride issue. And I want people to understand me and to hear what I'm saying. If there's a misunderstanding, I kind of want to go back and make sure that I've been heard and that they think I'm right, really. But this whole piece is talking about yielding to that, surrendering to that, being deeply appreciative of those who are in our lives. And I love how it really does cover this whole gamut from the governors and the authorities, which would be our government today, and to the masters, which would be our employers and those we work with. And even as you move on into chapter 3, it talks about husbands and wives, and that is spoken of again in Ephesians 5, that we should submit to one another. That just means a yielding and an appreciation and a surrender to one another. And it brings us back to the whole point here is it says to glorify God. See, it's not about me. That's where that pride comes in. And I like to think it's about me often, but God and Peter are bringing us back to, it's not about us. It's all about him, to make him look good, whether we're talking about the government or our employers or even in our own homes, that we're to give him honor and to make him look good. And even it goes on further down into 20 through 25, and it talks about, of course, Jesus is the perfect model of that. He made the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate surrender to death. And even in the midst of naysayers and accusers, he was quiet and he humbly accepted that because he wanted to bring honor and glory to the Father. And so he's our representation there. And he even says further, as he was here on this earth, he said, "I came to serve, not to be served, and to be last and not to be first." And that really is that idea, that growing out of that pride in our own selves and into honoring God and Jesus' sacrifice ultimately. So where are you today? You know, I think about my own home, and there are days that I struggle with surrendering and just submitting and yielding to serving my family. Maybe that's where you struggle. I think about social media. We're so quick to give our opinions and to say perhaps harsh things and passionate things about our government or even our employers or what's going on in our workplaces. And he's telling us not to do that, withhold from that, yield to what you really want to say and be more Christ-like. And then out globally, just in our neighborhoods, where is it that you need to submit or surrender today to honor God and to show him the respect that he's due?